I can't think of anyone better for the Utah Valley Chamber to honor than Gail Miller. She's a remarkable woman. She's a wife, she's a mother, she's a grandmother, she's a great-grandmother. She's a savvy business person. She's a generous philanthropist. She's an advocate. She's a former NBA team owner. Think of all of that in one person. She has done remarkable things for the state. She has done remarkable things for Utah County.
My mom grew up in the Marmalade District, kind of up by the Capitol, Salt Lake City. And she grew up in what she talks about as being a fairly poor family.
She grew up in a home where she had to work at a young age. She came from a family that didn't have an abundance of resources. And so she learned early on the value of hard work, of improvising, of making do and stretching.
Her dad was always at work, and he took whatever job he could find to help, win bread for the family. One of the careers that he had, he was a shoe cobbler. To me, that just speaks to how frugal life was.
There were 9 children in our family, and her father passed away when she was 18, I think, and her mother went off at that time to nurses training school to become a nurse. And so at that point, Gail pretty much took over the family and raised the rest of her siblings. And it just seemed to be a natural thing for her to care for people and to do what she could to help them. She was always a beautiful girl and very attractive and very outgoing and very capable of getting along with people.
My parents talk about meeting young in their early teens. They both went to West High School, and they did grow up relatively close. And, dates for them consisted of maybe going to a movie for a nickel or 10 cents, grabbing a soda pop for about the same. My mom was an amazing mom. She wore a lot of hats. My dad was gone a lot, and once they started the family business together, they kind of divided the duties. And my dad went to work, and he just grinded it out. He made things happen on the business side. But what I think is really important to remember for all of us is that in this story there was the other half, and my mom was that other half, and she wore all the rest of the hats. And she worked really, really hard, and I cannot imagine how exhausted she must have been at the end of almost every single day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about something that she's taught me. I learned patience from my mom. I learned hard work from my mom. I've never seen anybody work harder than my mom. She taught me to mow the lawn. She taught me the importance of punctuality, of being on time. She taught me how to care about people. She's the one that helped us with our homework. The list is really, really long. I am who I am largely because of what she's done for me in my life.
Larry was the classic entrepreneur. He drove this business. He sacrificed. He put in incredible hours. And then you have Gail, who in her own right is very competitive and likes to push forward as well, but she does it in a very different way than Larry did. Gail does it in a way that thinks about how to create sustainable processes, how to create sustainable governance for the company long term, and the company has doubled in size since Larry's passing. That's a credit to Gail's steady hand.
Many people look at Gail and say she has it all now. But, Gail has had struggles in every aspect of her life. But what makes Gail really great is that she has that courage and that faith to continue on without fanfare, without complaint, to do good.
What I would like people to understand is how good she is, how truly good.
Gail has a quiet strength about her, a certain dignity and class that shines through.
What you see is what you get. There is no pretense. She's totally content to be in the background. She does not have to be the tip of the spear. She doesn't have to be the one with the spotlight shining on her.
Her leadership style is one of listening. It's one of convening. She knows there is far greater power in doing things together.
And what makes Gail unique is not only her business success, which is significant, but it's her ability to bring people together to accomplish marvelous things to make our communities better, our neighborhoods stronger, and our lives more enriching.
Utah means everything to my mom. I mean, she really has given her life to this community, whether people realize that or not. She has.
When Larry and Gail bought the Jazz, Larry stood up at the press conference and said, "Utah, this is all yours." That was probably the beginning of their publicly stating what we've come to know as stewardship, meaning that they may own the asset, but it's really about enriching the lives of other people, and that's stewardship. And when we sold the team, that sense of stewardship has continued. And so for her, it's also about being able to fund the foundation while she was alive and while she was here, and that she could personally and actively be involved with giving that money away.
She's always looking ahead. She's always looking for a more innovative and effective way to help with those who are underserved, who are marginalized, who need our help in our community. We've been involved in educational initiatives, whether at BYU or UVU or the tech schools. We've been involved in homelessness with many of the homeless resource centers in Utah County, as well as food pantries. And we've helped recently with performing arts centers.
One of the remarkable things that Gail is just completing is that she was co-chair of the Primary Promise campaign. And this was a fundraising campaign to benefit Primary Children's Hospital that would build a new hospital in Lehigh, which was just opened a month ago. And Gail led out on that. Not only did she give the major gift, but she called everyone she knew and she said, "This is important, join me on this." And so as people drive past that new Primary Children's Hospital in Lehigh and see that beautiful campus, that is there because of Gail Miller and the Gail Miller family.
And part of the reason I think that the Intermountain Hospital was important to her is because my oldest brother Greg spent some time as an infant at Primary Children's when he was young. He had fallen off the bed and had a head injury, and so this is a big opportunity for the family to pay it back.
This is an appropriate recognition for Gail and who she is, the values that she embodies, her commitment to our community, the fact that she thinks about people over profits, and the legacy that she leaves is something that we will all be beneficiaries of, blessing generations of Utahns even when she's gone.